Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Nadia. We're going to be looking at some TikToks today and talking about them. We're also going to be going on a walk because it's really beautiful. The leaves have changed here with the fall. And I'm going to sound weird for this video because I just had my wisdom tooth pulled, so we can just ignore it together.
Maybe you know, maybe you don't, but in Taylor Swift's new music video, she has an imagery that directly contributes to anti-fatness.
Literally the last video I made was about how thin people's self-applied fat phobia is still problematic, and this is why.
The situation, for anyone fortunate enough to not know, is that Taylor Swift used the word fat in her music video last week in a scene where she's looking at the scale and trying to convey her own struggles with ED and body image. It's something she's shared a lot about in the past, and fat acceptance creators lost their minds.
When our skinny friends tell us that they look or feel fat, how do you think that makes us feel?
Hey Taylor Swift, what the fuck, dude? Fat is not a feeling, and feeling fat or fearing being fat or not liking the way you look, which is often what feeling fat actually is, does not mean that you deal with these systemic issues that actual fat people actually deal with.
And some of you might be saying, Angelina, is it really that serious? Is her stepping on a scale really that big of a deal? And is it really contributing to fat phobia? And the simple answer is yes, it is.
Check yourselves, skinny people.
They presented a united front in opposition to the appalling use of the word fat by someone I keep seeing referred to as
a tall, cisgender, white, straight size, thin, wealthy woman.
The outrage here is interesting to me for several reasons. To start, this is a good example of where the word fatphobia is really failing fat acceptance, in my opinion.
My friend, you summed it up better than I ever could. If my reality is your worst fear, then that is the literal definition of fat phobia. Check yourselves, skinny people.
Because the literal fear of weight gain or fat that someone with a restrictive ED might experience is actually what seems to be being communicated in Taylor's scene. So when people watch it and go, that's fat phobic, the correct response is, yeah, it does seem like she was afraid of gaining weight. But that's not how it's being used here.
Because fat phobia is trauma. And we don't deserve to be re-traumatized because y'all can't find better words to talk about your feelings.
It's being used in the you're contributing to the oppression of marginalized people kind of way, which is a pretty extreme interpretation of someone else's mental illness. And we know that Anna is the mental illness with the highest mortality rate, but fat acceptance doesn't care if you're recovering from an ED unless you're pandering to them at the same time.
We don't give a shit that other people have had these experiences. They're not invalidating to us, and we do not want to invalidate their experiences. But Taylor Swift has never existed in an actually fat body.
People were commenting, telling me that I should not post about being in a smaller body because it's triggering.
I'm not even gonna lie, this post really pissed me off. I love this creator, but this post just screams ignorance. The amount of thin privilege to get on here and be like, why would me losing weight in ED recovery be triggering to you? Are you kidding me? I don't know, and maybe it's because for most people that start ED recovery, they will gain weight, maybe, and that they have to address their internalized fat phobia. They don't get to recover without addressing it. Have you ever thought of that? Maybe that's why. So when you're up here talking about, oh my god, loose skin because I've lost so much weight. Like, read the room.
That is a really popular creator on the platform who got mass shamed recently because she shared about how she's been losing weight in recovery from her ED. Also, couldn't help but notice that for the sake of this video, eating food contributes to weight gain, but for the rest of fat acceptance, food and weight gain are totally unrelated.
Last night on Instagram, it became painfully obvious that I have been scared to show up in my body because I don't want anybody to be triggered by my unintentional weight loss.
In both situations, I see fat activists or others claiming the outrage is because this type of content could be really harmful or triggering to young girls or just other people in general.
I was a counselor for teenage girls, and if this music video had come out then, and they would have seen their fucking idol standing on a scale looking disappointed and disgusted with herself and the word fat coming up, I can only imagine how hurt and disgusted with themselves so many of them would have been.
When you portray fat as a bad thing in your music video, even for a second, all of the young impressionable people watching that video are gonna internalize that the worst thing they can be is fat.
But I think the truth is that a lot of these outrage campaigns are a result of individuals getting their feelings hurt.
You're not fat. You're fucking gorgeous. And you know what? Us hot fat guys and hot fat girls know that we're gorgeous now too. But it fucking hurts. It hurts to hear our skinny friends who can fit into clothes and who get the attention that we want from the people we want the attention from until... this is so goddamn frustrating.
There was something I kept hearing over and over in response to the Taylor Swift video thing.
And it's really damaging for me to listen to her music and watch her videos knowing that one of her biggest fears is looking like me.
Shout out to Taylor Swift for making me spend a whole week getting comments from people who were like, she has an eating disorder. So if she wants to say that looking like you is her worst fear, she deserves to be able to say it.
You may love and admire Taylor Swift, and now you know that looking like you is her worst fear.
I think this is kind of the real root of the outrage. The idea that this person you idolize wouldn't idolize you back, but it gets coded in something more righteous, like protecting the world from potential harm. But it's gonna be a tough sell for me. I have seen and experienced the way this group can lash out at people who dare to disagree with them.
I think it's time for another adult pre-K lesson.
Or lose weight intentionally, or struggle with their own EDs. If you want people to believe you're concerned for others, show concern for others. Unbelievable. And something I found particularly annoying about all this was the extreme backlash to a word that bad acceptance claims to like. They celebrate that word all the time, and they claim it holds no power over them.
Are you fat?
Yeah. I'm fat.
Do you want to go shopping? I got fatter over the holidays, so I need some new clothes. Sure, but you didn't get fatter, you're beautiful. Well, I didn't get uglier, I got fatter. Fat's not an insult, self-deprecating, or a feeling. It's just a way to describe yourself, like tall or short. You ready to go?
Calling me fat is not an insult, because yes, honey, I'm fat, and so is my squazole. She eats soles and sucks the skin off ribs. Hello!
Here's the thing, fat people are fundamentally cooler than people in normative bodies.
This video is actually a creator responding to someone who said they don't like the word fat. They prefer words like curvy or voluptuous. And they captioned it, "Call yourself voluptuous or drink a bucket of bleach." That TikTok was particularly amusing to me because it had a comment on it that said, "Imagine trying to tell someone how to refer to their own body." And I get that the point is supposed to be, well, she didn't use the word right. That's why it's fatphobic.
If you're not fat, don't say you're fat. That's it. That's it. That's it.
Being fat is not a bad thing, and in 5 seconds of your music video, you have successfully reinforced the idea that it is.
And as a reminder, fat is not a feeling.
Anything that associates the word fat with something negative is very damaging.
Guess what? Language is collaboration. One group or person doesn't get to unilaterally decide how a word is used and the connotations for it. They're asserting that Taylor is teaching or reinforcing the idea that fat is bad. But the idea of fat being bad comes from the science of obesity and the reality of living with obesity, not from the way celebrities choose to talk about fat. You can't take the word cancer back and be relieved of all the physical ailments that come with cancer. That's why healthcare doesn't revolve around redefining words. Even people who don't have EDs fear weight gain because it's natural to fear illness. And you can't force people to celebrate illness just because you want to celebrate it. And we can choose to celebrate the word fat all we want, but our bodies aren't gonna celebrate with us.
I can't believe you guys bullied Taylor Swift into changing her anti-hero music video.
This all culminated in the video actually being revised, at least on Apple Music so far, and the word fat being taken out, which is apparently all they wanted.
Change made such an impact. Just by getting rid of this one scene, there was such a big difference in the video, and that's literally all we were asking for.
I would love to hear some opinions on all of this, but particularly the decision to revise the music video. Censorship is rarely a good thing, and I personally can't really get behind the revision.
I just feel bad for her. Respectfully, she doesn't need your pity. She's having the best week of her career. She just released a killer album, everyone loves it, and it's awesome. Go enjoy the fucking album. Stop bullying fat people on the internet. You are vile for that above all else. Cut that shit out.
Fat acceptance is allowed the space to be openly anti-science, and they misinform people about nutrition and exercise, and as wrong as I think it is to mislead people in that way, I acknowledge they have a right to their platforms. But they want to censor and erase anyone or anything that's not affirming to their mission. And this is a particularly fickle group constantly moving the goalpost. So to set a precedence of trying to please them, it's not only concerning, it's basically a Sisyphean task. We're gonna call it here for today. Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end if you're still here. Let me know what you thought down in the comment section. If you liked the video, give it a like. It really helps the channel. I'm working on a few videos right now, so we will have another one up soon. I still want to do something to celebrate 15K on here also. So thank you everyone for coming to hang out on this video. Take care, enjoy your workouts or your lunch breaks or whatever we're doing right now, and I'll talk to you soon.